let me talk to y'all about the doctrines of devils. And we're going to start off with the devil convincing humanity that there's more than one God. And I'm going to just keep staying at the beginning because people need to understand the origin of why everything is the way that it is today, okay, with humanity. So I'm going to bring y'all back to Genesis. Keep in mind, right, before humanity was in existence, the angels were in existence. Satan already had the idea within his heart that he wanted to be God, to overthrow God, overthrow his kingdom, take his kingdom from him in reality. And it's funny that that desire of his in his heart is still being acted out today, because he gets to snatch souls from God and bring them into his kingdom. So when he fell from God, he got his own kingdom. God gave him his own kingdom, and God has his kingdom. Now when Adam and Eve fell, it brought them to a mental awareness, a spiritual awareness, a soulful awareness that there was another God other than the God that they knew their entire existence. And the people or spirits that tried to portray to them as they were God, they were confused by. I need you to understand that in the Garden of Eden, the only God that they were familiar with, the only God that they knew to be God, the real God, the origin, the creator of everything, was the great I am. Jesus, okay, everything through Jesus. Jesus was the word was with God, the word has became flesh, which means he was God, he is God, he will always be God. And it's funny because even in the Garden of Eden, it was shown that the devil was it was a war between the devil and God over man's soul. The devil wanted man's soul, God had man's soul from the beginning. But origin, the devil was always trying to pull man away from God. So the way that he did that was leading them into transgression, break your covenant with God. Boom. But yes, we're talking about here the doctrines of devils. This is one of them, right? But one of the main ones that, is widespread across the entire world. Many different religions, many different gods. I'm telling you, we're sticking to the Garden of Eden, okay? Sticking to Genesis. Back to that tree of knowledge of good and evil. Because the thing about it is, the devil has to find any way, any opportunity to pull you away from the God that he knows to be God himself. The God that told his creation they have authority to trample over him, trample over serpents, trample over every disguise he uses to try to deceive us. He's the only one. He knows. So if he can create many different ways that seem like the truth, but it all gets you to deny who he knows to be God himself, he's going to use that opportunity to lead people, once again, every way possible to lead you away from God, every way possible to lead you away from the same God who told you, I'm the one who gave you authority to trample over him. You have to come to Christ to be able to trample over him. But back to Genesis, we're still here. But like I said, in the garden, Adam and Eve did not know a strange God. They knew Jehovah to be God and God alone. They knew Christ to be God, God alone. So the strategy of the devil is to get you to worship him, but through a means that you think you're worshiping the real God. Whether you think it's true or not, this is just it. Every time God references in the Bible, do not follow a strange God, it's because originally deep somewhere within us, he knows that we know that he's the real God. So when he says don't follow strange gods, don't follow after their gods, he's saying that because he knows somewhere deep down inside of us, we know that he's the one who created us. We know that he's the one who created everything. But you also have to understand, when you eat from that tree of knowledge of good and evil, the modern tree of knowledge of good and evil, today on this earth right now that we're living in, we are eating from the same knowledge and information that is being used to keep us away from God. The same way the tree was used to snatch us from God, snatch us from his presence, snatch us from his mercy, snatch us from his grace, snatch us from that life of eternity, listen, is being used to keep us in deception because we're eating from his tree. So the doctrines of devils, right? You have to understand once again that when we were in that garden, Adam and Eve had no knowledge of any other God being God. It says in Deuteronomy 32 verse 12, the Lord alone led him and there was no foreign God with him, which means every other God aside from the person who said that I am God, I am who I am, is strange, and they should be strange to us. I get it. They're in different nations, different cultures, different whatever. It does not mean though that the God that they serve is the God of creation. The thing about it is Jesus is the only one who said, I am the way, I'm the truth, I'm the life, I'm the door. You can't get to the Father except through me. A very clear-cut instruction on how to get back to heaven, how to get to the kingdom of God, how to get back into where we came from originally, okay? And how to experience life in eternity. The only one that made it clear he has given us authority to trample over the snakes, the serpents, the lions, the cobra, the dragon, listen, every disguise that the devil tries to come and use to deceive us, to keep us in bondage, keep us in sin, keep us away from God. He told us, I have given you authority to destroy him, to trample over him, to where he has no effect on you, to where listen, under your feet for the rest of your existence, okay? Till you get back to me. That man cannot have no authority over you. You have authority over him. I've given you that because you're walking in me. And listen, in the garden we knew no other God. Adam and Eve knew no other God. And Satan presented himself to man as God. He's doing the same thing today, getting humanity to serve him by any means possible. Every soul that is out of Christ's hands, out of relationship with Jesus, is on the path of destruction. And it's funny because in the word it says, the gospel is foolishness to those who are perishing. I was perishing at a point in time, and someone tried to preach the gospel to me when I was 16, and I took it as foolishness. God knew when my heart would be ready to receive him. So this word may not be, oh, let me grab your attention and reel you. No, it's not going to be that immediately. It's going to be seeds being sown at first. If you belong to God, God will get you. It don't matter where you are in your life, what stage you at, what you got, what you don't got, it don't matter. But I'm just bringing up the demon's doctrine. It's so easy for somebody to turn to another God because they don't cause no transformation in your life. Every other religion feeds your flesh. Jesus says crucify it. Every other religion talk about works-based salvation. If that was the case, but you can't work your way into heaven. You can't work your way into God's good graces because God's going to do it without you being perfect at all. And that's the point of Jesus, right? Of our salvation through him. Every iniquity that we have, all transgression that we have, all iniquity that we got, transgression we got, whatever. We might have walked in, might be walking in, still will walk in. For all that. All that was laid upon his back. It says it in the word. Through one man, destruction entered the bloodline, entered the generation, entered humanity. Through one man, humanity was restored. God, But bottom line, listen. The devil always has to announce himself when he walks into a room. Oh, I'm an angel sent from so-and-so. Angels in the Bible didn't do that. They came and said, this is the word of the Lord. Even people on this earth, oh, I'm so-and-so. Girl, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Like, the devil the only one who got to announce himself when he walk into a room. The devil the one who really want attention. Like, when God walks into a room, there's nothing that needs to be said. People start proclaiming on his behalf who he is. The devil is the only one who has to try to convince somebody else of their holiness. You walk into a room, an angel encounters you. You don't have to question their holiness. You know what they were in the presence of before they encountered you. I'm chatting, but I'm not, because this is supposed to be about Doctrines of Devils, but it is. It's tied in together. But just always keep in mind, the battle from the beginning, when it was just two people on this earth, God and the devil, is the battle today. A war for the souls of man. Trying to get you to come away from God and come to him, or vice versa. God trying to pull you away from the grips of the devil, okay? The grips of darkness, the grips of sin, the grips of bondage, all that, and get you back to him. Choose life, okay?